In this video, we'll see how to multiply binomials. Let's look at some vocabulary. First of all, what's a monomial? Monomial has to do with one term expression. So a monomial is an expression that contains one term. And the term can be a number, like a constant, a variable, or a product of number and variable. So it's important that in a monomial we see either a number, a variable, or a multiplication with numbers and variables. In a monomial, there are never additions or subtractions. It is just number, variable, product of number and variables. Once we see additions and subtractions, those become already either binomial, trinomial, and polynomial if there are more terms. So binomial means two. By two is an expression that contains a sum of two terms. So it could be two terms added together or subtracted. Like 3x squared is a product of a number and variable, so that's a monomial. 2 is a constant, that's a monomial. Together, they're being added, so that becomes a binomial. Two terms, the sum of two terms, an opposite difference, because a difference can be written as a sum of a negative. So binomial means monomial combined with another monomial. X plus 4xy is the sum of two monomials, which becomes binomials. In other words, there are two monomials added together. So if we have two terms in an expression, that's a binomial. Trinomial means three terms added together in the expression. Negative 2x is a term, plus 3y is a term, minus 6 is a third term. 2xy is first term, minus 7x, second term, plus 1y squared, third term. That becomes a trinomial. That's an expression that contains a sum of three terms. So what do we do if we have to multiply? Let's start with two binomials. Then we have to multiply each term of first expression by both terms of second expression. Well, let's see what that means. For instance, a plus b is a binomial. I have a sum of two terms. Multiplied by a plus b, same expression, but it's another binomial, a and b. So I'm going to show a product, which is multiplication, and I'm going to show that a has to be multiplied by a and b has to be multiplied by a and b. So to multiply, we have to multiply each term of the first expression, in other words, a times b, by both terms of second expression. So a times b, and then b times a, and b times b. So a multiplication chart shows how to multiply each term. So I have a times a, that would be a squared. A times b, that would be positive ab. Then I have to multiply second term of the expression by both terms. So b and a, I can put them in b times a or ab form in alphabetical order because it is commutative. A times b is the same as b times a. So b and a is the term positive ab plus b times b, both being positive, that's b squared. And then I have four terms answer. A squared, a times b, ab. A times b again, ab, and b squared. So my answer for the multiplication is 4 terms. I have a squared plus. Now I look at the AB and AB, and they are the same kind. In other words, they are like terms, and then b squared. As in any expression, you can combine the like terms. So AB plus AB, that is 1AB plus 1AB equal to AB. Like terms can be combined together. Same kind can be added together. So that would be a squared is the term that doesn't have any like terms and it stays the same. Then 1AB with 1AB, like terms are together 2AB, and then b squared is the only term with the second power for b. The like terms are the terms that have the same exact variables, and if they have the same exact variables, they have to be to the same exact power. So a squared is all by itself. 1ab with 1ab are like terms, so that would be 2ab altogether. And b squared is the only one that has b alone. So if you combine like terms, always make sure that the like terms have either same variable or variables or a variable to the same power. Very, very important. So let's see another example. I have 3x plus 4. That's a binomial. I have two terms added together. And I multiply that by x minus 2. That's a binomial, two terms subtracted. When we set up a multiplication chart, I have to have one expression on one side and one expression on the other. So it doesn't matter which one goes on which side. For instance, I have 3x and positive 4, one expression, 3x plus 4. And on the other side, I'm going to have 1x minus 2. When you multiply, 3x times 1x, 3 times 1 is 3. X times 1 is, x times x is x squared. So 3 times 1, 3. X times x, x squared. 3x squared. That's the multiplication of the first two terms. Next, you have 3x times negative 2. Positive times negative is negative 6, 2 times 3, and then x. 4 times 1 is positive 4, and you have an x. So here you have 4 times 1 times x. That will be 4x. Then you have 4 times negative 2. Positive times negative is negative 8. So you have to multiply each term of the first expression by both terms of the second expression. In other words, 3 times 1, 3. X times x, x squared. That's 3x times 1x, 3x squared. Minus 6x plus 4x minus 8. Out of these four terms, two are like terms. When I write the four terms in order, so these are the answers, right? For all the multiplications that I had to do. Each term from one expression had to be multiplied by both terms of the other expression. So when I write out my answer, I go in respect of powers. Highest power is the first term, always. So 3x squared. Then I go with variables, and the constant is always at the end. So I have minus 6x plus 4x, and then minus 8. When we line up an algebraic expression, we always line up the terms in respect of powers. Highest power goes first, then variables in alphabetical order if there are few, and the constants always go to the end. Next, we have to look carefully and see if there are any like terms. Like terms are the terms that have the same variable, same combination or product of variables, and if there are variables, they have to be to the same power. So 3x squared is the only term with the exponent 2. Negative 6x plus 4x are the two terms that can be combined because they have the same variable x. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2x. And then the constant remains the same. And here is your final answer that is simplified and lined up in respect of powers. Highest power first, lower than constant. Let's see another example. I have x minus 2. That's a binomial expression with two terms being subtracted. 3x plus 4, that's a binomial, and there is a product, meaning multiplication in between. So product of two binomials, a multiplication of two expressions. X minus 2y is my first expression, and then 3x and positive 4 are the terms of the second expression. So to multiply, we have to multiply each term. So x times 3x will be 3x squared. That's like 3 times 1 and x times x, 3x squared. Then 1x times positive 4. Positive 1 times 4 is 4 with an x attached to it because there is an x multiplied. Negative times positive, we have negative 6, 2 times 3. And then I have the x and the y in the term. Negative times positive is negative 8y. Check out the terms of this expression. 3x squared, highest power, plus 4x minus 6y, minus 6xy, and then negative 8y. None of these terms are alike. So when I write them, and there are all four of them, so I'm going to just bring down my equal sign here and go highest power, 3x squared, plus 4x minus 6xy and minus 8y. And when I look at all these terms, there is no x to the second power to be alike with the 3x. There is no x term. This one has a 4xy, so it's not like. This one has negative 6xy, so it's not alike. It is a four-term expression left at the end that it cannot be simplified any further because there are no like terms to be combined anymore. Let me get you started on the next expression and then see what you get when you pause the video. So example number 3, 4, and 5 will be to practice. I'll get you started on number 3. If we have to multiply two binomials, we have negative x or negative 1x plus 5. First. Second is 3x minus 7. So we multiply one binomial by another. Then we have to multiply negative times positive is negative. 3x times x is x squared. Negative times negative is positive. 7x 1 times 7, 7, and an x. Positive times positive is positive 15x. Positive times negative is negative 35. So in this expression, when you write out, make sure you write out first term with the highest power. Then look for the like terms and constant at the end. Pause the video and see what you get as a simplified expression. Pause the video and give it a try. So the highest power is negative 3x squared plus 7x plus, what do we have here? 15x, like terms, and then we have negative 35. Like terms in the expression can be combined in order to simplify it. So we have still negative 3x squared, the first term, didn't have to simplify or combine with anything. Like terms, here we have plus 22x and then minus 35. When we simplify an expression, we line up the terms in respect of powers. Highest power going first, then the lower powers, and constants always at the end. Let's see the next example. I have an expression plus 2y, which is two term added together, binomial, multiplied by 3y plus 2. Each term of the first expression has to be multiplied by both of the second. So 6 times 3, that would be 18y, plus constants, 6 and 2 both positive is 12. 6y and 3y, that would be positive. I'm sorry, 2 and 3, positive 6y squared. Thinking ahead, giving you the answer. Plus 2 times 2 is 4y. Would you pause the video and line up the resulting terms in respect of powers? Highest power being first, then lower than the constant, and then simplify by combining the like terms. Pause the video, give it a try. In respect of powers, we have highest 6y to the second power, or exponent, 2, plus. Then we have the 18y positive and the 4y. So those two have to be added together. And since 18y is a positive term, I say plus 18y and plus 4y. And then the constant at the end, plus 12. The like terms can be combined together. 6y highest plus 18 plus 4, 22, y, and then plus 12 will be a final answer. Next example. Pause the video and give it a try. Then check in with me. 6x minus 1y is the binomial in the first expression. Negative 1x plus 4y is the binomial in the second expression. We have to multiply the two expressions, or two binomials. Negative 6x squared plus 6 times 4, 24xy. Oh, didn't fit. That's okay. Negative times negative is positive xy, and then negative 4y squared. In this situation, when I write out my four terms, I'm going to have the x squared, xy in the middle, and then the y squared term. So I have negative 6x squared plus 24xy, 24xy plus 1xy minus 4y squared. And I have the powers with the square on the sides and xy in the middle. And that has to do with factoring that we're going to be learning later on. For now, I have x squared, xy in the middle, and then y squared lined up this way. The order of the terms, essentially, for the final answer does not matter. However, it is important for the next steps when we have to do with factoring expressions. So I'm going to have 6x squared, then combining the xy in the middle, that will be 25xy. And then I have the 4y squared for the final answer, and it is a simplified expression. What if my expression has 3x plus 2, which is two terms, binomial, and I have to multiply that by another expression that has three terms? That's a trinomial. So how do I multiply a binomial by a trinomial? Very, very similar. You multiply the terms of the first expression, but by every term in the second expression. And the multiplication chart is really helpful because once you see the terms of the first expression and you multiply them by the terms of the second expression, then you have 6 terms that you're expecting in the answer, and you'll combine the like ones. So when you have a multiplication chart, then you have all these blanks that you know that you have to fill in. So 3x plus 2 is the first expression, binomial, two terms, and multiply by 3, x minus 2y plus 4. Positive 3x squared. 3 times negative 2, that would be negative 6xy. Positive times positive would be positive 12x. Positive times positive, that would be plus or positive 2x. Positive times negative will be negative 4y. And then positive times positive will be positive 8. So you're multiplying across every term of first expression of the terms of the second. Let's go on respect of powers and pick up all the terms. So I have 3x squared. Then I have the x terms, xy term, y term, and a constant. So just look at the variables involved in the expression. So I'm going to put the negative 6xy, then go in order plus 12x, go in order plus 2x, minus 4y, and plus 8. List all 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms after the multiplication. Then just look for the like terms. When you look for the like terms, you look for the same variable or variables. And if there are variables, they have to be to exact same power. And all you can do to simplify is combine like terms. So the remaining expression, 3x squared minus 6xy, and then plus 14x minus 4y plus 8 is your Final answer. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms remaining, so it's a polynomial of 5 terms, and there are no more like terms involved, so you cannot simplify it any further. That's your final answer. That's your simplified expression. I have a product. Example number 7. You have a trinomial and a binomial. By making a chart, you can write that the 2y minus 1 is the binomial. I have 2 spaces here, and I have 3 spaces for my trinomial, 2x minus 1y, and then plus 7, the constant. Multiplying every term, 2 times 2 is 4, thinking ahead here, and then I have x and y. That would be 4xy. Positive times negative, negative. 2y squared. Positive times positive, positive. 14y. Negative times positive, negative. 2x. Negative times negative is positive. 1y. Negative times positive is positive. Oops, negative times positive is negative. 7. Line up the terms in respect of powers. Negative 2y squared plus 4xy minus 2x plus 14y plus 1y minus 7. Looking at the like terms, I have the y terms that are the same, 14y and 1y. Nothing else. So all I can do is combine the like terms right here and rewrite the expression, which is going to be a little bit shorter after you combine those y terms. 2y squared plus 4xy minus 2x plus 15y minus 7. Final simplified answer. One more problem for you to do. Give it a try. We'll check it in class. See what you got.